Hey everybody, welcome back to Seduce, me, you, us, all together. And we have a special guest today. Its name is... Gia Bao. I don't know. I can't read it. I can't read it. The screen is too... It's the Chinese herbal tea that's been sitting in my fridge forever. And I decided to try it, and I decided to try it on camera because I've never had Chinese herbal tea. So, I'm just gonna open it. Okay, that made an interesting sound. Okay, it's open. So it looks weird. It's not giving off a weird scent. It smells kind of like a lemon iced tea. Let's see. Oh, God. Oh, how do I explain that? How do I explain that taste? Let me take another sip. It tastes like I'm sucking on grass. That's what it tastes like. It tastes like I'm sucking on grass. And I only got this because I had nothing else to drink while I was recording. So, well, looks like I'm stuck with it. I might need that in the future. Herbal tea, it'll last me a while. And we were in a flashback. Alright. I was standing alone. The entire classroom was filled with laughter and chatter, but I soon stood in the midst of it, quiet and alone. It was strange. The whole world passed in front of me with such vibrancy, all while I stood there. On the plus side, I wasn't engaged in any of the drama that might have arisen, like scribbling on someone's paper for revenge, or kicking someone too hard. Taste is still in my mouth. It was kind of nice just standing back and watching things pass by and life go on. I had long before convinced myself that I preferred being alone. You sound like Heejung. I often said to myself in encouragement, yeah, I want to be alone. There's no one I like better than me. Narcissist! So I had to spend more time with myself. But there was a certain bitterness that, coupled with being alone, made me feel so sad. There was a difference between being alone and lonely. I just didn't realize it at the moment. And even after that moment, my father, my mother, there was no one to turn to. I was so lonely. That's when I decided on it right then. I was going to see my grandfather. I didn't care if my father wouldn't take me. I was going to walk my way over there and see what he had to say about it. I had never met him before that. What better time to see him than now? I don't know. If no one else was going to help me with what I was feeling, I might as well have turned to him. So after school, I decided to walk there. I had no idea how to get there, and I was armed with only a scrap of paper with an address scribbled on it as a 7-year-old. As a 7-year-old, I obviously had great ideas. I soon became lost, and like I always did when I felt lost, I stood there on the sidewalk, back pressed against the wall, eyes looking at the strangers pass by. And like always, people continued to pass by, and life continued to go on. I was sadder than ever. I ended up in the situation I was originally in. Nothing had changed. I thought that I was silly for thinking that I could change things with my own two hands. That wasn't until a voice brought me back to reality.
Hon, is that you?
Grandfather? Sorry. I looked up and saw a familiar face. Unfamiliar face, but it was obvious that whoever was talking to me knew who I was. And from the moment, things began to change. Life began moving its rusty joints, and I realized that things were moving along. Suddenly, I had become part of the crowd that moved like a blur past me. I was no longer someone who stood still and watched others hurry past me. Life had changed. I had changed. Because the very person who found me that day was my grandfather. I had the opportunity to help them, though. Would I? I wanted to, but I wasn't sure if it was the best idea. After all, 5 demons in my house wasn't exactly the living arrangements that I had imagined when I first moved in. What is so itchy on my head? My gosh. Yeah. I'm allergic to the herbal tea. Oh no. There was a matter of making sure no one found out about their powers. Thinking about them as lab rats made my stomach queasy. And even if they passed for humans, how would I explain having guys living in my house? Imagine if my friends came over, they'd probably think I was part of a harem or something. Well... Oh god, imagine if my parents came over. I think my mom would faint. Who knows what my dad would do? I think it would have them arrested on the spot. This was hard. Maybe I should have written out the pros and cons list before actually having to make a decision.
Don't worry too much
Jesus!
about it. You have plenty of time to decide. Besides, you should do what makes you happy as well.
Grandfather? It was strange that I happened to remember what my grandfather said to me when I was little, but it did kind of make sense. They weren't in the same exact situation as it was that I was in before, but I did want to help them out. I think it would ease my conscience out and also make me a bit happy to give them help, as weird as that sounded. Clenching my hands on my fist, wow. I strengthened my resolve to speak up. Well, you could...
What was that, lovely lady?
It's been a night. It's been only a day and I missed your voice already.
Spit it out already.
I can't... I'm in the face. There we go. You could stay here with me if you'd like. Suddenly everyone came to attention. As soon as I finished my sentence, the room became still. I'm not sure what went through their heads from my words. The silence in the air cut like a knife until I finally spoke up once more. It seemed like you all needed a place to stay, and well, I just moved into this giant house, so it seemed like it'd make sense. You know, as long as you keep cooking for me and stuff. It was still quiet in the room. I decided to keep talking. If you would like to stay here, though, there are 2 things that I need you to follow.
Yes.
First of all, you can't use your powers deliberately to do something that might harm me or any guests that might come over. Well, safe for enemies, but you get the drift.
That sounds reasonable.
You never talk, Damien. Second, you have to help me with any errands around the house. This place is kind of big, so... yeah.
That is a generous offer, miss. Are you sure that would be okay? We don't wish to burden you any more than we already have.
It's not a good idea, but I don't feel like I have a choice. It's alright, really. I mean, I just started living here myself, so I would appreciate someone around the house.
A wonderful idea. We'll live here and train while helping you with the house. Servants for the lovely princess.
Sam is not having it. Sam is not having it.
What? Are you serious?
He's not having it.
Shh, be quiet, Sam. I haven't slept in a bed for days.
You poor thing. Shut up, Damien. They all seemed to like the idea except for Sam. And hey, I didn't really hate the idea either. Even if they were incubi. Aren't you a little creeped out by that? It would be interesting having 5 guys... having 5 guys help me with taking care of the house. Given they would follow the rules that I just laid down.
Fine! But we're not staying here forever. Only until we can beat up that group of punks.
You're a moody one, aren't you?
I think that is a reasonable time limit for our stay.
Yes, this is awesome.
Also beautiful. If you need a bedfellow.
I choose Damien. No, don't worry, I got the doll that Matthew gave to me.
Eric, knock it off.
I got an achievement for doing nothing! I was happy that they agreed. Maybe it was because I wasn't going to be lonely for a while. Maybe it was because they all needed my help. And my want to help people was fulfilled. I would never be sure.
So what are we waiting for? Let's celebrate and dig in.
Right, we've been sitting here forever not eating.
Finally, I'm starving.
Such a moody little shit. Instantly, Matthew and Sam began to stuff themselves with the food on the table. I noticed James' eye twitching in irritation, so I stifled my incoming laugh.
Really, you two? You're both acting like pigs.
Eric's like, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, let them have a little freedom, James. It's not like we've eaten recently either. I'm sure they've been starving.
I feel like Eric's the wife and James is the husband.
Still, that's no excuse for stuffing their faces like backyard swine.
Get over it, James. I almost couldn't hold it in. So then, what do I do? So I didn't. What was that, Mark? What was that? LOL. What was that? What was that mark? Hold on. Is there a guide? Why would there be a guy? Right? I don't know what any of that means. I don't know the colors for the guys. Shit. Fuck. I couldn't hold in my laughter anymore. As I laughed, Matthew and Sam looked my way, face stuffed.
Is something funny?
Nope.
What are you laughing at?
Nothing. Walrus. Got diapers. I stopped to catch my breath. I leaned over the table and took a few breaths before replying. You're so funny! Again, Sam, not having it. Both their faces turned a slight pink before they looked away from me, and they swallowed their food in their mouths.
Shut up! We're not funny. We're hungry.
Well, we're glad that we made you laugh.
Sam.
Shut up, Matthew!
Damn it, Sam!
What? I'm just saying.
It's such a bitch!
See, James, it's entertainment for her.
Oh! We lost points with James because we laughed. But we got points with that guy, and that other guy. Damien. Nobody talks about Damien. They were funny to me. At least they enjoyed the food. As I watched, I took a couple pieces of food for myself and placed them on my plate before eating as well. Eventually we all ate dinner together. It was strange eating with just guys, but they were enjoyable to be around. It made me feel like part of the family as we ate together. However, our peace was soon disturbed. My mom! Oh, like... Yo!
Hey, honey, how are you? I'm sorry I didn't get to see you off.
Fuck. That herbal tea, man. It's good for you. Ugh. God, I feel like a slick of grass. Hi, Mom. Just dying. Everything's fine. I'm actually eating dinner right now.
Oh, good. So there was food there. Well, your father wanted me to call and talk to you about having a house party tomorrow night to celebrate the new house and all.
No, that's fine. House party tomorrow night, so soon.
Your father insists. You know how he is with events.
I know how he is with everything. He wants it done the next fucking day. I knew exactly what she meant. He didn't like long relaxing periods between important events. I was slightly messed up. I was expected to act on the drop of a dime, from moving immediately to the day after the funeral to my grandfather's house and organizing a party. I know, since I don't exactly have you two here to help me arrange it, I'm going to need some time to prepare things.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, Suzu and Naomi can help. I have work, and you know how your father is.
So you're not even gonna come? I know, I have to do it myself. He won't help.
I'm sure it'll be amazing, honey. I have faith in you.
I hate both of you. Thanks.
All right, I gotta go. I love you, sweetie.
Yeah, I hate you too. Great! Now how am I gonna do this?
Is something wrong?
Is something wrong? You're something wrong!
She has to organize a house party for her parents.
Cut it out, Damien! Stop it! Shithead. I hate it when you just open your mouth and my words come out. But yeah, I gotta do it soon. My parents will be really disappointed. I'll have to stay up and organize everything tonight.
Hey, why don't we help you? That's what we're here for, right?
As long as you don't make another scary-ass Chucky doll, sure.
I don't see why not.
I can name a few reasons why we shouldn't.
You see that window behind you, Sam? Jump out of it.
Sam?
Back off.
Stop! He's acting like a little chihuahua right now.
We'll take care of everything, miss. Just leave everything to us.
I don't think I want to. That was surprising. I didn't think the boys would offer to help right off the bat. I couldn't help but smile. I was actually rather thankful now that I let them stay. Now that I didn't have to do everything alone. So I kept thinking about it. I couldn't help but yawn.
Feeling a little tired over there, princess?
Shut the hell up, you. Yeah, it's been a long day. At least tomorrow's the weekend, so I can sleep in. Then it hit me. Wait, where are you all going to sleep?
We found some guest rooms on the opposite end of the house from the master bedroom. I'm sure those will do just fine.
Got it. Alright, the hiccup. Whew, I'm heading to my room to study and sleep. I guess I'll see it all tomorrow.
Have a good night.
Thanks. Sure, you too. With that, I left the dining room and went to my room.
Eric, no.
What?
What? I wasn't going to do anything.
Bullshit!
Yes, he was.
We can always count on Damien.
Shh.
Well. As soon as I got in my room, a wave of exhaustion hit me. Why am I so tired all of a sudden? I just woke up from a nap. Dragged myself to my bed and hauled up one of my bags. I opened it and grabbed my economics book, knowing that, no matter how tired I was, I had to study at least a page or two before sleeping at last. The words on the page scrambled in my mind as I read through them, but after 2 or 3 times I managed to understand what the page was about. Equations. Ugh. Finally, I decided to change into my pajamas and head to bed. Today has been a long day and I needed the rest. Hopefully tomorrow will be better. 3 days of surprises in a row would kill me. With that thought in my my mind, I drifted to sleep, embracing the darkness of my slumber.
You fucking pretty boys think you're all that, huh? Well, save that to the end of my pistol.
That so scared me so bad. I couldn't move my body. I felt like I was tied up. I couldn't see anything beyond the darkness that surrounded me, yet I could hear the sounds of a heated argument coming from all directions.
One move and she gets it.
Let her go!
What? What?
Come on, chicken shit. Fight us like a real man.
Yeah!
Like you scare me, Sam. Come on. Take one step. I dare you.
What the fuck is going on? I can't I see?
Stay away from her, Malix.
Who's Malix?
And what are you gonna do, nerd boy?
Suddenly I felt myself pulled to one side, my arm wrapped around my body protectively.
I've got you. Don't worry.
What's going on? What? Eric, what? As I was held in a tight embrace, I felt the world around me once again settle into a low, peaceful hum. The hostility of a dream before I had faded into black as his arms around me rocked comfortingly. Slowly, though my eyes fluttered open, I looked up at the person holding me. Damien, what the fuck? I stared into the eyes of Damien. His face was painted with worry and concern. I knew he must have seen my dream. Why did I dream of Eric holding me, though?
You can't control your dreams.
But why? I guess you're right.
Are you okay?
I don't know. Am I? Yeah, I'm fine. Thanks. What time is it?
9 a.m. James and I were making breakfast when I, well...
Stepped in without knocking. You can't control your mind reading?
No. Not yet, at least. I hope to learn eventually, though.
Yeah, me too.
Is everything alright?
I don't know what happened. Yeah, I'm cool.
That's good. I'm assuming you had a nightmare.
Fuck if I know. Yeah. Sorry.
You didn't disturb us, miss. Besides, we'd rather make sure you're okay before anything.
Thank you.
Now, why don't you come downstairs with us and have some breakfast? I'm sure some nice food will take your mind off of what you dreamt of.
What's wrong with your hand? Oh, yeah. It was embarrassing to be the damsel in distress once again, but I felt rather happy that James and Damien were concerned for me, despite only knowing me for a short time. Wasn't sure if it was just courtesy or if they were genuinely concerned. I couldn't exactly read their minds, unlike Damien. The two boys led me back to the dining room, where the smell of bacon and eggs danced in the air. The smell wafted the kitchen and made its way into the room, making my stomach growl in need. Breakfast!
We should be done with breakfast soon. If you want to sit down at the table, you can.
I nodded before sitting down, and as I sat down, however, my mind drifted back to the dream I had. That feeling of hostility around me made my body shudder instinctively, even though I knew it wasn't real. However, my eyes closed. I felt a hand place itself on top of my head, breaking me out of my thoughts. Huh?
Morning.
Don't touch!
You all right?
Don't touch! You're gonna kill me if you touch! Yeah. Great. Sam, the owner of the hand on my head, raised an eyebrow at me before rustling my hair, moving away to sit down at the table. Then he barked towards the kitchen where James was working.
Hey! Is the food done yet? I'm starving!
Yeah, you were okay. You're okay. That little second you were good. Until you blew up.
There's no need to yell, Sam!
You're yelling too!
Don't argue with me!
I'm gonna... Shut up, both of you! From behind me, Eric appeared and sat beside me, rubbing his temples in obvious annoyance.
Can we not yell this early in the morning?
Can we not?
It's not like we're in the castle.
You have a castle? Of course you do. Of course you do. You're sex vampires. Why wouldn't you? Castle? For some reason, when I heard the word castle, I couldn't help but yell in surprise. These guys at a castle? Sam looked at me and hiccuped and smirked at my reaction.
Yeah, we have a castle back home. Our dining room's 10 times bigger than this room.
Well, why don't you just go right back there? You don't need my place. You got a castle.
Then wouldn't it be logical to not yell?
Yeah.
Whatever.
This mansion is too small for us. Stop it. Soon James and Damien appeared, hands full of plates that carried bacon, eggs, toast, waffles. They placed the plates down by each seat before seating themselves.
My favorite.
Finally.
Oh, get over it, Sam. Thank you both for breakfast. It looks amazing.
It's our pleasure.
Phone! Yo!
Hey, good morning!
Hi.
Yes, who's at your door right now?
Santa Claus? Right on cue, they knocked from the lobby door. My heart stopped. Suzu and Naomi were here.
I'll get it.
No! Matthew, stay! Sit! My heart quickly began to pound my chest. Matthew was in the lobby and he'd get the door first. I instantly jumped out of my chair and rushed out to the dining room. As I passed through the archway between the dining room and lobby, I saw Matthew reach his hand for the brass door handle, causing the world to go in slow motion. Matthew, don't! But before my words could reach his ears, Matthew had opened the door and revealed the surprised faces of Naomi and Suzu. You had one job! The world around me stopped as Susan and Naomi kept their eyes on Matthew, who merely stared back in fear and embarrassment. I could feel the air go from warm to freezing in a matter of seconds.
Hi?
I feel like Suzu's just gonna just attack him. Like a bulldog or something. I could not believe this was happening. How was I going to explain this? This week has already been bad enough. To make matters worse, I was frozen in place. Please, for God's sake, someone do something other than stand there.
Who are you?
Finally. So, Suzu, let me explain.
What's going on here?
Nothing. He's a cousin. Can't you see our resemblance?
Who's at the door, Matthew? Oh.
Fuck. You all had to come. This is gonna be a long day. Soon the other incubi appeared in the lobby with us. The situation was not getting pretty. I had to think fast. They're in your head! There's no way these will pull off as brothers. They're visitors!
Then why did one of them open the door? Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
None of this makes any sense. It was no use. There was no time to lie to them. I felt helpless. Then I felt a hand on my shoulder and I felt the tension in my body almost fade away. Turned my head to see James smile at me before stepping in front of me.
We must apologize, ladies. We know this situation must be confusing for everyone. Let's take this to the dining room and we'll explain everything.
No. I stared at James wide-eyed. He was going to tell them who they were. Everything seemed surreal. Before I knew it, I was led in the dining room along with Suzu and Naomi, and sat across from their confused gazes. As Naomi and Suzu sat down, Eric and Matthew placed their untouched plates of food in front of them, surprising their guests.
Whoa, this looks amazing! Thank you!
Our pleasure, ladies. We hope you enjoy your meal.
This doesn't look good at all.
Make sure you dig in!
Matthew, no. I looked at Naomi and Suzu. They began to eat, visibly enjoying every bite they placed in their mouth. Hopefully the food would ease their minds for whatever James wanted to reveal. As Naomi and Suzu ate their what is that word? Meals, James and the other boys stood behind my chair, making me grow more red in the face.
So, Anderson, are you gonna tell us what's going on?
Well, they're my maids. They're my manservants. Duh. Gently, James placed a hand on my shoulder again, signaling for me to just eat my food. As I began to eat, he spoke to Naomi and Suzu.
We are Miss Anderson's house servants. We were hired by her late grandfather to help around the mansion, but since he has passed, we now assist Miss Anderson with living on her own.
Smooth as silk.
That makes sense. It's such a huge house.
Yep.
A huge house for a wonderful princess such as Miss Anderson deserves the greatest of servants to care for it.
But why are you all dressed so casually and stuff? Aren't servants supposed to have uniforms or whatever?
Well, Miss Anderson allows us to get comfy while we work, so she lets us wear casual clothes.
Yeah, something like that.
God damn it, Sam.
We're sorry if we made this situation awkward earlier.
We're very sure that Miss Anderson is also still getting used to having us as her servants. It would be very hard to explain after just a day.
I guess.
So, if I may ask, what brings you two ladies here?
Well, we wanted to see how our friend was doing. Since it's the weekend and all, usually we hang out and just chill.
Yeah, like going to the arcade and stuff.
Or the Pink Lady Cafe.
Shut up, Naomi.
There's an arcade?
Shut up, Matthew.
That makes a lot of sense, ladies. Well, we don't wish to disturb you any further than we have, so we'll take our leave and start preparing the house.
Huh? Preparing for what?
We gotta prep the house for some sort of housewarming party thing.
Great explanation.
Our princess's parents requested a housewarming party to be held here soon.
And by soon, they mean tonight.
Oh, well, I guess we can help out or something. Right, Naomi?
I thought you wanted to go to the arcade.
This housewarming thing is more important.
I want to go to the arcade, though.
No need. We can handle it. If you'd like to, miss, you can go out with your friends while we handle things here.
Seriously?
Sam!
Sam, not now.
Thank you, Damien. Well, I wanted to help out, but at the same time I wanted to go with my friends. James gave me a look of understanding, letting me know that if I left, everything would be okay. To make a decision. Just go.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. I trust these guys to be able to work everything out.
Thank you for trusting us,
I really
miss.
don't.
We'll have everything done for you by the time you return home.
Alright, we'll wait here while you go get your things.
I was strangely relieved to know that everything was going to be okay while I was gone from the house. I trusted the guys enough to do everything they could for the house for this house party, so my mind focused itself on hanging out with my friends. Eventually, I was out the door, walking towards Naomi's car with Naomi and Suzu. Grab my mouse. Where's my mouse? Oh, it's cool how it disappears. Suzu grabbed the entire back seat as I took the passenger sides. Naomi started the car and drove off towards the city. It was nice driving with my friends. After all that had happened, it was good just to go out and forget my troubles.
Well, since we got you out of the house, we might as well go to the mall and walk around a bit. We did just eat breakfast after all.
Yeah, it was a good meal, though.
Could have had more flavor, in my opinion.
Suzu, you eat chili peppers when you're bored. Everything you eat always needs more flavor.
Look at her, she's like a dragon. You need to teach me, Suzu.
You just need to eat spicy food all the time. You gotta tame your mouth.
No, who did I lose points with that time?
Tame your mouth? Really, Suzu?
Sounds difficult.
Anyways, after the mall, what do you want to do? We could go to the Pink Lady Cafe and chill out with Kay. I'm sure she'd love the company.
But we have to stop by the arcade. They have this new game out called Orion. You get to control this guy named Isaku, and you're part of the rebel forces, and you get to shoot things, and there's robots, and...
Sheesh, we get it, Suzu, we get it. We'll go to the arcade.
God. Which one, though? You know how popular Kay is. She'll be swamped with customers later in the day.
I'd rather go in the late afternoon. She has better options during the last hour of the cafe.
So basically after the arcade?
You figured me out so quickly, Patterson.
What did I tell you about using my last name?
Well, let's go to the arcade! Woo! So we headed to the mall and walked around for a good amount of time before driving out to Moonfall Arcade. As weird as the name sounded, the arcade was one of the best arcades in the city. Kids, teenagers lined the games, watching the players at the consoles. They anxiously waited to have their turn.
Oh, there it is! There it is!
Oh, I got a hiccup, damn. Suzu grabbed Naomi and me by the hand before dragging us to the section of the arcade where a bunch of kids had gathered in awe and excitement. In the middle of the crowd was a large game with 2 joystick platforms and a screen that flashed the name Orion every other second. In the background of the screen, a holographic playfield glimmered before us, revealing a neo-futuristic battlefield and an enemy robot charging right at the camera.
This is the game you were excited about?
Looks really cool.
That's right!
Good.
And I'm gonna play it so hard I'll beat the game in 1 shot.
Okay. Suzu smirked and looked at me, hoping that I would join her as I usually did for partner games. I looked to Naomi, who merely rolled her eyes, crossed her arms, and gave me that okay nod. I grinned before nodding to Suzu, who cheered in joy.
Woohoo! Alright.
Oh no! Sorry, I just wanted that.
Woohoo!
There we go.
Alright, let's do this.
Let's do this. It's the wrong game, Suzu, but okay. Took us a good half an hour before we were able to step out to the platforms. The point of the game was to beat the government and to restore freedom to the general public. We played as rebels and a robot, and the game quickly became a smash and bash game versus multiple enemy robots. Playing with Suzu was always an adventure. We both knew what our strengths and weaknesses were, so it was easy to collaborate with each other. It wasn't long before we got into the swing of the game, and we were beating enemies like crazy. By the time we got to the boss, we were unstoppable. So it was so refreshing to beat the boss and put out our 3-letter code name to the high score list.
And that is how you game. We are unstoppable, Anderson.
Suzu gave me a large smile, which made me smile back. I was happy to be able to hang out and have fun with my friends like this. I felt free from the worries or responsibilities. It was something I loved. We eventually lost track of the time and wound up staying longer than we expected, making us unable to stop at the cafe before going home to dress for the housewarming party. So, we drove back. Naomi and Suzu picked up clothes and other necessities from their house before driving back to the mansion. Damn, I really need a drink, but I don't want to drink that tea. The hour of the house party had arrived. In my mind, I kept double and triple checking the essentials for the party. Knowing my dad, he invited his business partners and executives of the Anderson Company to show me off. I stood in front of the mirror in my room, staring at the form as a million thoughts ran through my mind. Just housewarming party, but at the same time it wasn't. It was my chance to show my dad that I was better than his expectations. Why is my keyboard blinking? It was a chance for me to see my parents for my parents to see me as a woman. It was my test to see if I was really ready to live my own. Well, not truly alone. I had Stop blinking. I had Incubi thanks to thank, but even so, I didn't have my dad guiding me, or my mom helping me through living alone. Knocked on my door, broke through my thoughts, surprising me. Who is it?
Hey, are you okay in there? Your parents should be here soon, so you should hurry getting ready.
I'm ready, but...
But what? I'm sure you look fine, Anderson. Just come on out.
Okay. First of all, you look like a little pink cream puff, and you look swag as shit. As soon as I opened the door to the hall, I watched Naomi and Suzu's face turn from smiles to complete awestruck stars. What?
Dude, you look hot.
Yeah, you look amazing. Where did you get that dress?
I've had it for a while, I just never had a chance to wear it. I figured I might as well bring it out now. Okay, here's the chance to get their colors. Oh, okay, maybe not. Because it seems Damien doesn't have a fucking color. But I'm guessing Matthew's blue. You're pink. I guess you're yellow? You're green. Orange? I don't know. I stepped out of my room and closed my bedroom door behind me. As I walked down the hall into the grand lobby, the Incubi stood waiting for me at the bottom, all dressed in the nines of proper servants.
Whoa! They really know how to dress well, don't they?
Where did they get those? Yeah. I was slightly taken aback by how great the boys looked in uniform. Each had the pose of a perfect gentleman, even Sam. I slowly began to climb down the steps with Suzu and Naomi behind me. The boys watched as I descended the staircase one step at a time, like knights waiting for their princess. Put my face slightly flushed, but I quickly shook my head to try to regain my thoughts. As I reached the last step, James offered his hand out to me and walked me down the final step smiling.
As beautiful as a princess, miss.
Oh, James. Thank you.
So, are you prepared for tonight?
As ready as I'll ever be. I couldn't deny that I was nervous, but I had to try. This party was more than what it seemed, and I had done all that I could to prepare for it. Now it was all up to fate. The other boys smiled assuringly at me, which made me feel a little better about everything. I looked at my phone and marked the time. Almost right on cue, the doorbell rang. I gulped. I could practically feel my dad's roar from behind the door. Sam and Eric quickly rushed to the door and opened the double doors wide to reveal my parents, both dressed in their best. Hey, guys, how you doing?
Oh my, I didn't know your bequeathment came with servants.
Bequeathment?
It was probably overlooked. Besides, who would deny good service?
You sassy son of a dick. I was completely shocked. My parents didn't question the boys. They didn't ask for verification or anything. I looked at the boys and noticed Sam and Eric staring intently at my parents. Were they using their powers on them? What were their powers? They had to be. There was no way they looked okay with this otherwise.
I guess the servants counted as belongings to the house.
My mother quickly rushed to me and gave me a large hug. I hugged her back, inhaling her perfume. It only been a couple days, but living away from the ones who raised me was hard. My mother soon let me go and looked at my outfit.
Gorgeous. You look so lovely. David, look at your daughter and tell her I'm right.
Looked at my dad, who was looking around the lobby like an inspector. I stood my ground, waiting for him to look at me. He did, and he let a small smile grace his lips.
Your mother's right. You look like you're all grown up.
Oh, we didn't give much of a choice, Dad. The world around me stopped as my heart pounded my chest. Did my dad just compliment me? On his own accord? My mother was grinning ear to ear at his words. I was beyond speechless. Thanks, Daddy. Whoever his cold face quickly returned, he began to look around once again.
I assume that you're ready, then, to impress the rest of the guests, correct?
What do you mean?
The entire board from Anderson Toys is coming tonight. Even the vice chairman's son will be coming. All of them will be measuring your potential.
Great. My potential?
To become CEO of the company.
I knew it. Something was off about tonight, and now this party had become much more than I anticipated. I gulped silently, but I nodded in response. I looked at the incubi, but they were continuing to be servants for my father's approval. I looked behind me and saw Naomi and Susie raise their thumbs at me. For encouragement, I let out a small breath before feeling my body accept the situation. I felt a weight in my gut, but I had to hide it. As if time zoomed forward all of a sudden, the main hall and lobby was full of guests. Men and women in formal or business attire showed up to meet me and see my new home. I didn't expect many to come, but I was once again surprised that night. I shook hands with many official and executive members. Putting on the professional face my dad trained me to have, I felt overwhelmed, but I hid it well behind a small smile and a handshake. Many even asked me questions, trying best to reply as maturely as possible. I had to remember, say what they want to hear, not what you want to say.
So, how do you feel living on your own at such a young age?
Duh!
I'm so sorry about your grandfather passing away. It really
I didn't get a chance to answer! Thank you.
Do you have college plans?
Shit! It's timed! I feel like the questions came up one after another. It was tough to answer some of them because they weren't about me, they were about my company.
What do you think will happen with the company now that your grandfather has passed?
What do you think of the philanthropic policy the company has?
What does that mean?!
Do you think the company should expand from just toys?
Eventually the questions stopped and I was back to being myself. Naomi and Susan were mingling in the crowds and the incubi were doing their jobs, so I was all alone in a room full of strangers. Okay, gotta drink the tea, guys. Why? Okay. It was unnerving to think about, but at least I wasn't being questioned left and right anymore. Suddenly, though my mom pushed her away through for the crowd to me, bringing along someone I didn't know.
Honey, I'd like to introduce you to someone. This kind gentleman is the son of the vice chairman.
What? What? Yeah. With my mother stood a man who looked only a couple years younger than me. He smiled and held out his hand, and silently asking for mine.
Hi, I'm Andrew Lewis. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Anderson.
You look like a total dweeb. As I placed my hand in his, he raised his lips and kissed over my knuckles. I felt my face burn slightly at the gesture, and just smiled at me before releasing my hand.
I'm honored to be invited here.
Good for you. My mother smiled at both of us, which made me slightly concerned. Why was she excited to introduce me to Andrew?
So, you organized this party very well, Miss Anderson.
You look like a total dork!
No. I apologize if I made you uncomfortable.
Andrew chuckled nervously, bringing a soft fist to his lips to cover his laugh properly before smiling at me.
I'm sorry if I seem a little forward. I've just been excited to meet Harold Anderson's granddaughter.
Why?
He used to talk about you all the time in the office on how you helped him refine his toys. I only attended meetings and heard all of the stories. You helped a lot with the success of the company without having to actually work there.
Although I didn't know he talked about me. That would explain everyone's fascination with me and their rather personal questions. I looked to Andrew, who had a kind face to me. Something about him seemed off. I didn't know what it was. He seemed to be hiding something, whether it was good or bad. I was not able to find out. Damien! Damien, I need you. I felt someone walk up beside me, causing me to turn to them. Next to me was my dad, giving his cold stare to Andrew, who suddenly became tense.
So, you're Jared's son.
Andrew's body twitched slightly, whether it was fear or insult. Andrew locked eyes with my father. I couldn't help but feel the tension between them. It irked me how fragile the air had become, enough to break at the wrong word.
You're the one who wants to be the next CEO of the Anderson Company.
Well...
I started Andrew. This guy want to take my grandfather's place as CEO. I thought the vice chairman wanted the position.
David, leave the poor boy alone.
I'm merely testing the boy's conversational skills. Nothing wrong with that.
Of course not, sir.
And polite as well. Interesting.
If you'll excuse me.
Quickly, Andrew retreated away from my family into the crowd of people. See what's up with him. I quickly followed Andrew, wanting to be sure he was alright. I felt a little embarrassed that my dad put him on the spot like that. I had to apologize. We wound up outside. The stars practically danced on the grass as we stood in the backyard of the mansion. Damn, that's gorgeous. I'm just saying. It had been my first time in years being out here, but my thoughts weren't on the nostalgia. Hey, Andrew? Andrew turned to me in surprise. However, his face was completely red in both embarrassment and humiliation. I felt terrible.
Oh, I didn't see you or hear you following. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I should be the one to apologize.
What for? You didn't do anything wrong.
I mean, the way my dad behaved. You shouldn't have been so.
Oh,
Shouldn't have been so, sorry.
No, it's fine. I mean, I should have expected it and been more prepared.
Andrew rubbed the back of his neck and gave a goofy grin. It was interesting seeing Andrew's professional side and then his goofy smile away from anyone. Still, I'm sorry for that.
It's not a problem, really, but thank you.
We both smiled at each other before I reached my hand out to him. He tilted his head and raised an eyebrow in confusion. Sexto! My name is Sexto. It is nice to meet you, Andrew. I don't know what's going on with your hair there, but that's okay. Understanding, his smile returned before he took my hand and gently shook it.
That's a pretty name. I'm happy to know it now.
It's an awkward name. It's not that nice.
I have to disagree with you. It's much better than Andrew. I mean, who names their kid Andrew?
A normal person? There's nothing wrong with the name Andrew. A lot of people do.
How about Axel or Ace? Something cool like that.
You're one of those. I couldn't help but laugh at him. It was pretty chill for a guy who was supposed to be a vice chairman's son. He grinned and laughed along with me. I don't know why, but I felt warm. Whether it was the almost non-existent breeze or the situation we found ourselves in, it felt nice.
Lewis.
Who's Lewis? Oh, it's probably his last name. And just like that, the feeling had vanished. We both turned to see my dad at the doors of the mansion, staring at Andrew with almost a deadly glare. Andrew straightened up, trying to maintain business posture.
Yes, sir?
Your limo is in the front. The driver has requested that you return home. Now.
Oh, all right. Thank you, sir.
Andrew quickly nodded at me before speeding back into the mansion to leave. As I took a step to follow, my dad stepped in front of me. Dad?
I don't want to hear it.
Ah.
Do not become friendly with him. He wants to take the company away from us. You have no reason to be friends with him.
He's just a person, dude. Before I could retort, my dad turned away and walked back inside, muttering about how the party was nearing an end. I sighed and entered the house as well, wanting for the party to end immediately. Eventually, only Suzu and I and my parents and the incubi were left. My dad suddenly walked over and placed a hand on my shoulder with a smile. I stared up at him, and a wave of confusion washing on my face. What?
You did good tonight. I'm proud.
Oh! Thanks.
Keep it up, and you'll be a good CEO.
I don't wanna. Alright.
Alright. Your mother and I have to leave.
Dad approves.
I'm sure Naomi and Suzu need to leave as well. Just because it's Saturday doesn't mean you should stay up all night.
Meh. Right.
Thanks for having us. It was a great party.
We'll come visit tomorrow or something. All right?
Okay, bye.
Good night, sweetie. Come visit us soon.
Will do. Oh. All four of my reigning guests left the building, all but my dad waving back to me. With the last of the guests gone, I sighed and sat on the staircase exhausted. That was tiring.
It's not like you had to do any work, though.
You have no fucking clue. Sam, get out!
Give her a break, man. She was getting interrogated left and right.
She handled herself the best she could.
As expected, princess.
Since you're exhausted, why not head to bed? We can clean up.
Hush, Sam.
You guys sure?
Positive. It shouldn't take long.
Ho ho ho! It didn't take long to find you little shits after all.
Oh no. I felt a hot shudder run down my spine. Everybody looks mad except for Matthew. He's just like, huh? I felt a hot shudder run down my spine. The voice from my dreams echoed through the air into my ears. I looked around, panicked. Alongside the incubi, James placed a hand on my shoulder, trying to remain calm.
Don't worry. No one will hurt you.
Goodness.
Are you sure? Are you really sure?
Alova shot her heads towards the door, finally pinning down the direction of the voice. The doors quickly swung open, revealing a sight that I would never expected to see. So how are you, Satan's son? Skin red and as blood. I'm sorry, he's distracting me. Eyes black and gold piercing into mine, roughened up with clothes and a pistol in hand. I saw a monster. And his side bitch. Covered my mouth to not scream at the sight. Dried blood covered the bandana around his neck. And he smirked at me, and the boys around me beside the red-skinned man was a similar-looking woman that matched thug-like clothes.
Aw, what's the matter, boys? You really didn't think I wouldn't find you, did you?
I hoped you would, you piece of...
Stop it, Sam. All of a sudden, the man raised his gun at Sam's face and instantly pulled it. Sam! We all gasped in shock, instinctively expecting to see a bullet run through Sam's face, but...
What? What the fuck?
What?
What should have been a headshot ended with a loud but empty blank shot. The pistol echoed its empty shot as the man grew more and more pissed. Sam! Get the fuck out of the way, please! Pulling the trigger over and over again in aggravation. Luckily for my ears, it became quieter after its first shot.
Why the fuck won't you work?
Thank God it's not.
This place is protected.
What?
What did you say, Shrimp?
This place has a seal, protecting it from hellborn magic.
Oh.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Ah!
The man growled and threw his gun at Sam, who was able to dodge it in time. The pistol bounced off the ground a couple of times before sliding further away, hitting the wall in a final stop. As it stopped moving, the gun faded into black flame and it disappeared into the air.
The previous owner had this place protected by magic, Malix.
This is news to me. Malix, that was his name. His existence resonated in my memory from the dream I had. However, I looked to Matthew in the same confusion as Malix did. Is this place protected by magic?
It would seem that your grandfather had some sort of protective barrier around this house. From the looks of it, it only disables hellborn magic.
And what are you then? Malix's face grew to that of extreme anger, his fist tightening as if he's crushing a stress ball.
What's stopping me from dragging your asses out and shooting you then?
Well, you don't have a gun anymore. Out of pure instinct, I stepped forward and placed my hand between Malix and the boys with no power. Malix wasn't going to fight. I took that chance to stand up to him instead of being powerless like it was in the dream. Malix growled at me, walking right up to me and leaning close to my face. I glared back, feeling a courage skyrocket.
Since when does a little stain like you give orders to a guy who can rip your pretty little head from your body?
You really don't think, do you? If you kill me, you'll be hunted down by more than just the police.
You little...
What? Oh shit! I didn't know it was time! All of a sudden I felt a hand grip my hair, pull it back, forcing me to cry out and stare up at Malix. His eyes bored into mine as he cackled in my face.
Hey! Let her go!
I didn't know it was timed! Ah!
Sam! Eric!
Oh god, don't do that to me, man! With mere seconds, Sam had punched Malix square in the jaw, forcing him to let go of my hair. As I fumbled back, Aaron caught me in his arms. Did I say Aaron? Eric caught me in his arms, gently pulling me away from Malix and back into the group.
Come on, Sam. You and me. Right here. Let's go!
Come on, asswipe!
However, before both could fight, the woman stepped forward and placed a firm grip on Malix's shoulder.
That's enough, Malix.
Does she have an accent?
What? Who do you think you're speaking to, woman?
The girl who's going to help you kill them. Just not now.
Not now?
I stared at the girl who spoke down at Malix. She looked the same, just like pure evil. However, she seemed to be concerned for Malix. Or for me.
There's 5 of them, and 2 of us. Even if we come back with the gang, they can have the place surrounded by human police.
Then we shoot everyone!
Think! If we shoot everyone, we'll be hunted. And it'll be a matter of time before makeshift paladins come and try to exorcise us.
This voice acting. The two growled at each other. They could have used their magic. I could sense the fire would glow from underneath their teeth. Malix grunted and glared at the boys. He pointed at James, wanting so badly to use his finger like a knife.
Just wait, pretty boys. We'll get you and fuck you up real good.
Then Malix turned to me, moving his finger to point directly between my eyes.
I don't think you're safe. Step outside. I dare you.
Wow. With that, Malix and the woman walked out of the mansion. The doors closed behind them, leaving the boys and I alone once again. I felt my knees give out from under me, forcing the boys to quickly turn to catch me.
Whoa, whoa! Are you alright?
Why was he here?
He's been closely tracking us. Our blood trail from the forest must have led him here.
Good job!
We should have stopped him and finished it here.
For once, Matthew, I agree with you.
Yeah, so do I! You could have totally taken them if you weren't too busy talking! I stood up and rubbed my arms, feeling the goosebumps Malix left behind on me. I couldn't stop myself from shivering in the fear of his words. Malix, was he a demon?
That son of a bitch is not a demon. He's a devil.
A devil, there's a difference?
Yes. Demons come from a different plane of existence called the Abyssal Planes. Devils, however, come from one of the 7 circles of a place humans know as hell. Despite us not being human, we are very different creatures.
We actually have brains, for one. Devils always like to cause trouble and try to kill or torture others for their own enjoyment. Demons, like us, know when to use our powers and when not to. We're not stupid.
Devils follow orders from higher-ups in their order, and their power only comes from their connection to hell. Demons all have free wills, and don't rely on where they came from to use their powers.
This is also confusing. I'm getting it. Demons and devils and magic all existed, and I happened to land in the middle of it. So what do we do?
You're safe. You've been protected as well.
What?
What Damien's saying is that the magic that protects this place also protects you.
So I have a little shield around me?
Your grandfather must have cast it when you last saw him or something of that nature. We can sense its aura around your body.
I couldn't believe my ears. It was the third day of surprises, and this one took the cake. And being the most surprising, I felt my head spin once again. What did I get myself into?
Miss, please don't worry. We'll find a way to train ourselves and become stronger to finally finish this feud.
I'm gonna kick his ass right now.
Until then, we'll protect you as much as we can. If Malix comes back, we'll be here for you.
But what was I going to do? What about going outside? Won't he?
Like we said, you have a protection spell on you. Even if Malix attacks you, he won't be able to use his magic on you. He'd be just like any other human you can fight back against.
Didn't you say you knew Taekwondo?
That's how you pronounce it. But yeah, I felt somewhat relieved that I was mostly safe from Malix. Still, I could not help but feel very nervous and apprehensive about the future. The boys were safe here to train and become stronger, but what if Malix did the same? Even more so, I was lost about how my grandfather knew about magic. I had to find out. At least I had time. Green apples. I got an achievement called Green Apples. What the fuck? I went to bed that night feeling nervous. Despite the words of the incubi, I felt like a target to something I'd never been able to explain or prove. Magic, devils, demons? How did this all even happen? Should I really meddle with the situation? They're only staying until after they defeat Malix. That's right, they said they'd only stay until after they defeated Malix. After that, my life would go back to normal. Temporary insanity, as Kay would say. The question was then, would I want them to leave? If my life went back to normal, then I'd have to care for the house all on my own. I'd get to focus on my life instead of being distracted by boys. I'd have to. My life. Where was I going to go anyway? I was under pressure from my parents with only my friends and boys to comfort me. Without the boys, I'd have no way to hide my responsibilities. Enough, let's just sleep and deal with it tomorrow when it comes. Defeating my sense of thought, I forced myself to sleep, unsure of what tomorrow had planned for me. Hopefully whatever my future had for me, I would be ready for it.
I promise to be with you forever.
Who is this? Oh my god, my brain cannot compute.
You're so important to me.
I swear I'll give my life to you.
Please, let me love you.
I'll be by your side, always.
I can't imagine living without you.
I want to be with you.
I love you.
I slowly opened my eyes, letting the voices of the dream echo in my head and forced me awake. I rubbed my eyes before sitting up and looking at my clock. 7 a.m. Why was I up so early? I fell back into my bed and closed my eyes, trying to get back to sleep. However, something kept me awake. Why? It's too early to be alive. I gave up and sat up, staring at the fireplace across my bed. A sigh escaped from between my lips before I threw my legs over the side of the bed. What to do at 7 a.m. in the morning? What to do at 7 a.m. is to go right back to bed. I'm gonna end it here. Oh my gosh, I'm so confused. Just help me. Help me! Stretch. Ew. Yep, that was interesting. I don't even know what the fuck's going on anymore. I will see you guys next time, I guess.